Hello and welcome to TNA 10. I am T Weave. This is episode 105, and I almost forgot to hit the go live button this time. So, what's going on? And I will just say up front before I introduce my co hosts here that I've spent the last 20 minutes trying to get a crack out of the audio. So, we apologize for that up front. We think we've got the best that we can have. I may be going to buy a headset this week for the next recording because something is not right. You guys can hear him, right?
Yeah, now I can hear your
This
crackling.
is so you had it the
Yeah.
best before
Oh,
we hit
wow.
live. You hit
And then we
live
hit
and that
live.
bitch is just crackling now.
It's all right.
Oh my
It
God.
happens. It happens.
Is it really bad? Is it better now?
It's not.
It's not as bad as the one time you and I did the show and mine was horrible.
Oh God. I don't know. Should we have a show or should we not have a show? The question.
We're here.
We're here. Let's go for it.
So
What
hopefully
would
you guys
Norm
can
do?
Post it.
Norm would have
I-
a beer and say we're
Yes.
here.
Man, I tell you, I've had some alcohol and I'm still kind of frustrated about it. So I don't know if I'm going with the norm thing or not. But something is not exactly right. Set up, so I do apologize. That's all we can do at this point, other than, hey, there's Amy. Hey, Amy, how bad does our audio sound? Let us know in the comments.
In the
Yes, please.
comments, Amy's here. My goodness.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I haven't even introduced you guys yet, and I hope I'm not sounding like a robot. I don't know. Is it just coming from me?
Amy
Okay,
says
said it's okay. But anyway, we've got Allison Faye. How you doing, Allison Faye?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm worried that I'm going to be trying to audio together later. It's just going to be noises.
You know that means
Oh, hell.
we're gonna have our favorite kind of Terry here, right?
I love
Andrew?
it.
He's getting warmed up already.
I love
And-
irritated Terry. He's my favorite.
We've also got Andrew. How's it going, Andrew?
Hey, buddy. So apparently Allison's favorite catcher just hit a single, and he's growing the beard. And as he grows the beard out, the OPS goes up, the hits go up, the batting average goes up. Damn George Steinbrenner and his beard policy. Imagine how many championships the Yankees could have if A-Rod and Jeter could have had beards.
No.
Damn.
No, I don't think either one of them would have rocked a beard. No, I'm good.
What
with,
about Mariano Rivera? I think he could have rocked a beard.
he could have rocked a nice mustache, but not a beard. Nope, absolutely not.
Mexican mustache. Full flavored. So anyway, the Yankees are on TV. So as Terry warned you about audio issues, you may hear something on my end, which we call Sunday night at my house.
Yes.
So anyway,
That's right.
Yamamoto is getting shelled right now. And when we get into the baseball, we'll talk about what happened to my man Max Fried, but it was not good.
Terry, why don't you tell us about what you did this weekend?
I'll try to, but apparently my audio is complete garbage. But this weekend, I rented a van, drove from Huntsville to Pensacola with my son Cyrus. We were taking a bunch of stuff to my son Houston, who joined the Coast Guard roughly a year ago, and he's now in Pensacola. So he's in an apartment. He had some stuff here, so we loaded it up and we went down there. And at any point, if this is just not, if you can't even understand what
No, you're fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
So we ate a couple of places. I worked with a lady that is from Gulf Breeze, Florida, and I asked her, "Hey, what should we do while we're down there?" And she told us to go to Ozone Pizza, and we did. I bit into the first bite of this pizza, blew me away. And let me tell you, I'm a sucker for good pesto, and there was pesto on this pizza, and it was
Ooh.
maybe the best pesto I've ever eaten in my life.
Crispy's makes a pesto pizza I send to Allison regularly. Do you know what wasn't on that pesto pizza, Terry? Corn.
What?
Fucking
No corn.
not on that pesto pizza. That's
It would have made it better.
Ugh.
It would have made it better. Let me pour a little more whiskey so I can forget about this. We may not even up any audio on the podcast networks this week. You may be the only ones hearing this. Anyway,
we have a podcast network.
Not us.
Whatever you call the podcast providing.
The
Anyway.
Apple Podbean.
Podcast.
So Perry was
the other
driving
thing
again.
So it wasn't bad to drive 5.5 hours. Cyrus thinks it's the end of the world, to go that far in a car. But we're in this van, and it's, I'm really getting on it as much as this Chrysler Pacifica will get. But then we pull up. So I had booked a Holiday Inn Express.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So then,
how smart were you?
yeah. So listen to this part though. This is funny. So the Holiday Inn, it's very close to his apartment, and I knew that. It's in a little close to the intersection of I-10 and I-110. So I knew to get it close to there. So so I see the Holiday Inn, and I asked GPS, how do I get there? And it's sending me right there. Okay. So I pull in and I say, "Give me a minute, boys. I'm gonna go in and then we'll go eat." I go in and the guy goes, "I can't find your reservation." I'm like, Holiday Inn? He goes, "Are you Holiday Inn University area?" Like, yeah. He goes, "That's next door."
Oh,
So I was at a
that's
Holiday Inn
obvious.
that was next door to the Holiday Inn.
Oh,
Where I
I
had my
mean,
reservation.
okay, because you would have known that.
Right. And the parking lots were connected. So one was a
Oh.
Holiday Inn and one was a Holiday Inn Express. I know they're two different things. I have never seen them side by side.
No, never. I've never seen that.
Then to make it even better, when I check out, the lady goes, "Have a safe trip." And I say, "You too."
I love when I do that. Have a nice
That's
day. You too. Thanks for your business. You too.
Well, we're going to have fun tonight, whether we get an audio show out of this or not. Who cares? You guys will enjoy the technical difficulties. Yeah, I need a banner at the bottom. We are having technical difficulties.
And by
Sorry
we
about
mean
that.
Terry, because
Creative banner.
I sound perfect. What is wrong
Yeah.
here? It's usually my stuff that's wrong, and Terry's is the one that's perfect.
And I just giggle at you both, so it's great.
Yamamoto
can
is on
spell-
pitch 76. This is horrible. He is not
What
Give
doing
me a
well
minute
tonight.
to apologize correctly, and then I'll.
So
Terry is-
there you go. Nice. Thank you, Terry.
Anyway.
But I had a good weekend as well. We
Good.
had we had my son's high school graduation party. Very small party. We just went, I asked the kid what he wanted. I decided instead of me doing what I want, it's his party, like it's his graduation. And he said, "I just want to go to Dave and Buster's." And so I just booked a small, like, little party. I was going to have it like in the main room or whatever. But when I got there, they're like, "Nah, we don't have any big parties booked. So we just gave you one of the party rooms." And it was phenomenal. It was fantastic.
great.
Yeah, everybody, who came had such a great time. My parents came, my uncle came, Frank and his whole family came, a couple of my girlfriends from work, one of Lex's good friends from his bowling and baseball league came. Yeah.
Bowling.
So it was a lot of fun. Chris, his dad came and his stepmom. So it was really nice.
I love
really
Dave and Buster's. I spend like $200 every time I go.
Every
So the
time you
best
walk-
part was, that's exactly it. The best part was my dad says to me, "Oh, did you see that they have pay-per-views here?" And I just started laughing. And I'm like, "Dad, don't you listen to our podcast?" I'm like, "Don't you hear
$50
us?"
for a pay-per-view,
Yes.
$250 to go to Dave and Buster's. It ain't worth it.
Exactly.
And it's an AEW pay-per-view on top of everything.
Which means you're there for 5 hours.
Correct. That's right. But
we got one of
And
those
it probably
to talk about
sucks,
tonight.
which what I was getting at. But go ahead, Gary. Be the nice guy.
Oh.
What?
my
Okay,
favorite
so
part.
let me mention more restaurant. I'm sorry, I forgot
Go
to
ahead.
mention it. I'm breaking into your
yes.
time here, but
No, go.
we ate at Ruby Slipper for brunch before we
Oh.
came back up. There's apparently a couple of different places. Ruby Slipper has a few, I think, on the coast. And we ate at one called Ruby Sunshine, which is apparently partnered with Ruby Slipper. We did that in Birmingham. Maybe there's those. If you're around one of those at any point, go ahead and go to it. It's excellent.
Nice.
Orders again. Sorry about that. I
No,
had it
that's
in the
all
notes and I
good.
didn't say it.
No, I was laughing because Lex was really excited. You know, he got a lot of fun little presents, but Andrew's present made his day. He bought him some big old Lego set that not only did Lex put it together in like 2 hours, he made and edited 2 10-minute videos on the building of the Lego set. And I'm like, kid,
That's awesome.
how do you like have time to breathe? He goes, this is my life. And I said, okay, there you go. That's it.
This thing has articulation. It moves. You can plug in the computers, and each of the little characters can ride Yoshi. It is ridiculous. It is also available on Lex's World, which is not usually something we mention on this show because of, you know, foul language and all. But it is available on Lex's World.
That makes
I'm gonna put
that
it.
makes it sound like Lex's World's got a bunch of foul language.
Oh no, that's us, not Lex.
I am gonna say this, and I apologize, but I'm gonna put this on the thing. His actual YouTube channel, and I don't know why he chose this, was Lex's World 666. I don't know why.
I followed him like 2 years ago, and I didn't realize that's what it was until you just mentioned it to me.
Yeah, nobody ever notices, but the kid's he's got more followers than us. He's got like 800 and something.
Well, you know.
Yeah, well,
it's not saying much.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe we'll be on Facebook Live again one day.
Yeah, maybe we got to get out to all Alexa's followers and have them start watching.
He did a really nice job with Yoshi, though. That's legit.
Yeah,
everything I've watched has been great.
He's not allowed to watch our show because of the foul language. Yeah,
that's my fault. I can see that. Mostly.
That's not just you.
You know, tonight's going to be my fault.
So that's my fault mostly.
Too funny.
Now, where's Bober? I mean, where is Bober? I mean, I even have hockey packs today, and Bober is not here. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Andrew. See, there you go. Proof from my father. He said he was blown away with your gift.
Well, I had help, George. I asked what to get the child and was told, and then all of a sudden it was in my shopping basket online and to the house. So I do appreciate the inside from Mom, because I wouldn't have had any clue, because the problem is when you have somebody that likes Legos as much as he does, they probably have what I think would be cool for them to build already. So
yeah.
Our Lego store just opened.
Yeah. You got a real Lego store? See, that's the
brick and mortar.
Yeah. That's gold.
I have not been yet. It's right next to our Apple store.
See, yeah.
Yeah, they know what they're pandering to. Have you been to the Lego store? They know the prices of Legos. I mean, and this is not fussing about the Lego set that I bought Lex, but I didn't know that little pieces of plastic could cost so much money. And the problem is for the real Lego builders, it's 3,600 pieces. It's $5 billion. Oh no, okay. 10 minutes later, it's built, and I'm like, what did you just do? Now, he did it the right way too. We sort the bags, we open everything, we do it one by one. I'm like, oh, you're a real Lego builder.
I mean, but to that point, I don't mind investing the money in the Legos, because he doesn't just build them once and put them away. For most of it, he builds them, he puts them away, he builds them, he displays them, and then he builds them again. He breaks them down, builds them again.
Yeah. No, it's really good. But like I said, Apple, Lego, they know what they're doing down in Huntsville, Terry. Apparently, you can't hide money at that particular shopping center.
No. I mean, we went to curse that one time. Sorry. So, right
You're not the
there.
only one with audio issues, by the way, tonight. My
I
headphones
mean,
just
it is.
randomly shut off.
I mean, we skipped a week. We skipped a week to come back.
All of a sudden, my headphones turned off. I'm like, I did not do
Oh
that.
man,
It has
I
full
don't
battery.
know.
I don't know. Anyway,
Well, at
let's
least
talk
we
about-
got a comical list tonight. But let's talk about
Yes.
our other stuff. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the baseball.
Hell yeah.
Little
Hold
bit
on.
new logo here.
Wait, Andrew's going to give us a live update for the.
Shohei is
Live.
out for the second time.
Ooh.
Yankees up 4-1.
So let's talk about the National League. If we have to, stupid Mets are in the lead in the East, 37-22. Cubs
Not
also
thanks to-
37-22.
Not
This is-
any thanks to Juan Soto.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah,
this
no,
is where
if
I
he was playing well, they would best team in baseball.
This is where I editorialize. Juan Soto's batting less than 200. Less than 200. You paid a designated hitter $765 million to bat less than 200. Stupid Mets. So anyway.
That's right. The Cubs are also 37-22. I'm happy about that. I like the Cubs, lovable losers as they call them. Then the stupid Dodgers are 36-22, and they're leading the West.
They about to
the
be
Braves.
36-23.
And the Braves have dipped down below the Nationals for fourth place in the East at 27-31. Not only that, but Acuna came back, and then everybody else started getting injured. So
Yep.
Nick Allen is injured, starting shortstop. He's scheduled to come back in the next couple of days. Stuart Fairchild is injured. It's funny. I followed his girlfriend on TikTok for a long time, and she said she was a girlfriend of a major league player, and I didn't figure out who it was until just like last week. But this guy plays for the Braves now. He's injured. And AJ Smith Shawver, torn UCL, and that means he's out for a while.
Tommy John. That's what that means. Tommy John surgery.
So that's unfortunate. We see that over and over again these days with these guys.
You and I were just going to say the same thing, Terry. The frequency of that injury or that surgery being necessary. And these pitchers, no offense to them, aren't doing what Nolan Ryan did, which is the anniversary recently, and that's throw 235 times in a game. He threw 235 pitches in one game. I believe it only went 11 innings, and he threw 235 pitches.
And he's regularly throwing over 100 miles per hour when he's doing that.
Oh, shit. Let's talk about Skubal a minute. Oh, wait. You ain't got to the American League. Did you all see that?
Take it.
Skubal for the Tigers, probably the only pitcher going to take the Cy Young away from Max Fried this year. In the ninth inning, in a complete game, it wasn't a no-hitter, but it was a complete game, threw 102 miles an hour on the closeout pitch in the ninth inning. 102-mile-an-hour fastball in the ninth to close it out.
Okay.
So he's probably the only person going to take the Cy Young away from Max Fried in the American League. Probably. Yamamoto today looks human, as we said, about Max Fried on Friday. The Yankees got him 4-1. He's on pitch 80. It's the top of the fourth. This is a guy leading the NL in ERA, 31% strikeout percentage is like number 2. Hits, Bob. I mean, he's in measurable categories. He's 1 through 3. But the Yankees offense is making him look human tonight. Now, here's the thing we know about the Dodgers. Go ahead and go up on them 5, and they'll come back and beat your ass. Thank you to the World Series. And the other night, Max Fried has a 5-run lead. They lose the game, or 3-run lead, but they lost the game 8-5. So, thanks to the comeback. Shohei hit 2 home runs off Fried the other night, giving him his first official loss. And Yankees are 12-2 with Fried on the bump. So, and he's 7-1 officially.
I'll take it. That's fantastic.
And that's the other thing I hate about baseball is the way they do the who wins, who loses thing. Because, like, no, without Freed, y'all wouldn't have those extra 5 wins, guys. Let's give them all 12, but whatever.
Yep.
Anyway. So the Tigers, as we mentioned, led by Mr. Skobal, however you say his name, it's Skobal for those of you playing along at home, are number 1 in the Central at 39-21, and I believe they're number 1 in the AL. The Yankees lead the East 35-22, about to be 36-22 if this game keeps going this way, and they are 5 full games ahead of Toronto. They also are 8 games ahead of the Red Sox, who they have a series with in the next week. So that will be wonderful, I'm sure. Mariners and Astros tied with just over 500. Jazz rehab games, though he did not designated hit tonight. That was Ben Arose, as I like to call him, Ben Rice. But Jazz is back after the oblique injury, 6 weeks out. He's moving to third base per Aaron Boone. They're going to keep DJ LeMahieu at second, which is a mistake, but whatever. As long as Oswald Peraza is it Oswald or Peraza? No, Cabrera. I like Cabrera. As long as Cabrera's got the broken ankle, we can have Jazz at third. But once he gets his ankle back and he's good to play, DJ needs to get DFA'd, and we need Jazzy and Cabrera. And Peraza can come in on the backside. But yeah, this is going to be the first series they've lost of the last 9, and going into tonight's game, they were 15-5. So
That's
of
crazy.
the last 20. So the Yankees have been playing good baseball, but they have allowed 26 runs over the last 2 nights, and 27 if you count tonight with the 1 run. So it is what it is. That's the baseball from New York, Terry.
And we'll see if y'all can hear me when I talk again. But
Yeah. So I just answered your question in the private chat. But when you talk, you hear the crackle. Yes, because our audience wants to know, be in on the gimmick. When you talk, you can hear it a little bit. It is really annoying you far more than it is annoying me. So just
this headset is recording its last podcast. I will guarantee that. I mean, I could switch over, like you said, but I've got like a camera microphone. Other than that sounds very canned. So we'll just go with it, and we'll get what we get.
We told Terry it sounds like he's on speakerphone in the bathroom.
Yeah, definitely sounds like he's on speakerphone in the bathroom when he takes the headset
This one
off.
This one is way better.
All right, let me back up. Maybe if I back up a long way, that'll help. Did that help at all?
Actually, it did.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Like I got some interference. Maybe it's the hat I'm wearing. Is there something in my hat interfering with my headset? Anyway, let's move along.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Judge is still batting .398, still leading the
DFA.
American
He's under 400.
Yeah, we got to fire his ass. He's up right now. He's hit 2 home runs against the Dodgers, and I'm hoping this is number 3. But anyway, Terry, what is this nonsense we talking about the football?
We're talking about more than just the football. We're talking about all NCAA. The first thing we'll talk about, if you can hear any of this, and I'll keep saying that, there is a wrestler named A.J. Ferrari. Great name for a wrestler. Collegiate wrestler. He started his career at Oklahoma State, and as a freshman, he won the national championship. Then he had a wreck his sophomore season and got charged with felony sexual battery, and which was dismissed. So he missed a couple of seasons because all this happened. And then he found his way to Cal State Bakersfield, and he entered the transfer portal, agreed to sign with North Carolina. Everything seemed like it was going forward. And then next thing you know, North Carolina admissions office did not accept him. After all the agreements that they signed and everything, the admissions office did not accept him. So he's back in the transfer portal. How does that happen?
What? How do they? That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, do we have the right hand and the left hand not communicating? Is the admissions office and the athletics department, are they just winging it on their own and not communicating? How does a guy through all of that and then get rejected from the school? I just don't understand it.
And if he's got any NIL money, which he doesn't say he does or he doesn't, they agreed to a number for him to go to wrestle for the school. At some point, somebody knew.
Yeah.
So
yeah, how do you get that far and not talk to your admissions office? Like, I don't get that.
I don't know. So we will keep track of that.
Well, the thing is, though, to your point, Terry, you had said it a year ago that this is going to be something that we're going to settle in court. And we were talking specifically about the transfer portal and the NIL and how complicated college admissions is. It maybe have never been about school, but it is as least about school as it has ever been, if that makes sense. You know, it is not about getting a college degree. It is not about going to a university and being proud of it. It's about who's going to pay me, with very few exceptions, unfortunately. And we found out in interviews subsequent to his retirement that that's what drove Nick Saban out of there, despite the fact being accused by certain folks in the SEC of having done it all along. And now the playing field is just legal, so everybody gets away with it. Terry, we would never say that about your Auburn alumni, that they would throw those accusations around, especially since you can't defend yourself with a clear response thanks to tonight's audio feature.
Oh, boy.
Well, I will say that Charles Barkley was talking a few weeks ago and said he's given a lot of money to the school, legal and illegal. And we're like, shut the hell up, Chuck.
Oh, my God.
Shut the hell up.
Okay.
What would Charles say? That terrible, Chuck.
Terrible.
Oh, the Chuck, it has nothing to do with it, but Terry loves Chat GTP. There's Chuck GTP commercial cracks me up. He's like, oh, number 1 rebounder, number 11. What about the top personality on TV? Not even the top 100.
You don't want me to answer that. Good stuff.
And not that it matters, but they're saying goodbye to basketball on TNT. So,
okay, interesting.
The inside the NBA with Charles and Kenny and Ernie and Shaq is going away.
Wow.
I believe
they gotta
today
find their way
was
somewhere else.
Yeah, I believe today was the last day of that, if I have that correct, or yesterday was the last broadcast. But anyway, it is what it is. This nonsense, though, with the NCAA also leads, Terry, to something that your man, the commissioner of the SEC, said, we're leaving the NCAA.
Apparently he didn't. Apparently they got misreported. So he did clarify. They did not announce leaving the NCAA, but they are very serious about the fact when they meet, when they have their conference meetings, that the athletic directors are asking, why are we still in the NCAA? So I think somebody took that information and ran with it. So it looks like they are still staying for the moment. I kind of expect this to happen at some point, though. Maybe this is one of those let's get something leaked on purpose kind of deals. Leaked information, and we'll say it's wrong, and maybe it'll get them worried. I don't know, but you know my stance is 135 is way too many damn football teams. How do you fix that? Maybe you just go make your own league. I don't know.
This is far more rhetorical than I mean it, but what does the NCAA actually do?
Well, in football, not a lot.
It's supposed to be a regulating body, but essentially all of their power has been taken from them.
Yeah.
And they look like a joke now that they've had to return Reggie Bush's Heisman and, taking games away from coaches and all this other stuff like Joe Paterno and Les Miles and all of the rest of them. I don't know. But the good news is the College Football Hall of Fame is lowering their standard by 0.5% winning points so that Mike Leach can get in to the College Football Hall of Fame.
Is that really
that is excellent?
We will not be lowering it again for anybody other than the Pirate. But by lowering it, you actually can include like Les Miles. And who, I mean, I don't know. He has national championship at LSU. Some people say it was Saban's team. But you know, Terry, that's more SEC talk. It was Saban's team that won the national championship. I will say this for Les Miles. When he was actually the Mad Hatter, when he would do the risky stuff like the fake field goals and the cool little flips and runs and stuff, that was great. But when he stopped being the Mad Hatter at LSU and just started being the pervy 50-year-old football coach that didn't speak Cajun, it was no good. Go Tigers.
No good. Sorry.
No, because they had the what's his face? Me and Terry could have been the head football coach of the 2019 LSU Tigers and won. The Cajun that was at Ole Miss, he was at USC. They fired him, and he said, "When do you want me to leave?" Because he had that big old bonus. You know who I'm talking about, Terry? The Cajun guy that always said, "Go Tigers."
Ogeron.
Yeah, Ed Ogeron. So anyway, Coach O, as they called him, Allison, there's a funny story, and this has nothing to do with what this. He said that the powers that be came to him, the athletic director at LSU came to him after they won the national championship. Then they had a couple bad seasons, came to him and said, "Coach O, it's not looking good." And he says, "When do you want me to leave, and which exit do you want me to use?"
I mean, hell.
This dude's been fired from every job he's ever had, so he knows how to read it.
He knows the drill. I mean.
And the other thing was they paid him huge money, and now he's in a hot tub with co-eds. So,
all right. So let's talk a little bit of baseball. Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay. So Nebraska, second straight Big Ten tournament championship, unfortunately, got knocked out by Oklahoma in the regional.
Terry, you don't have to be so nice. They got rolled today by Oklahoma.
Did they?
They got whipped. 17-1. Is that what it was?
Oh shit!
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, it was 8-0, and I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah. Okay.
I was being nice, but Auburn is undefeated in their regional so far. They're hosting it. They are waiting in the finals for either Stetson or NC State, so that'll be coming up in the next couple of days. Yeah. Then they will also host the Super Regional, I believe. Whoever that is against, and that, my understanding, that is a series against one of the regional winners, because there's 16 regionals with 4 teams each in the regionals. They play a double elimination tournament, and those 16 winners get matched up head to head, and they play, I think, a 3-game series at one of the fields. So Auburn will host that because they were the number 4 seed in the nation. So I'm not sure who the other team would be, what regional it comes from, but that's coming up. And then whatever 8 teams win there, they go to Omaha for the College World Series,
where they play double elimination round robin tournaments. I believe it is.
We love tournaments.
Yeah. So does Tony Khan.
I love baseball tournaments. I'm not big on wrestling. Like I said,
Tony Khan,
I'm okay with wrestling tournaments. I just don't like it to the degree that AEW. But I have a statement later. Okay, I'm going to balance things out. I'm going to give them their credit.
It was a perfect transition, except for the fact we're going to talk about the real wrestling first. And that would be the WWE. That's Saturday night's main event. Terry likes it as cheesy as possible. As cheesy as possible. We did not get the big blue cage. But
that's bullshit. We did get an extra match, didn't we?
Yeah, the women's match. They put a women's match in there, but it was an afterthought. No offense, ladies.
Yeah.
Selena Vega versus Chelsea Green was an afterthought.
Absolutely.
There's your analysis on that match, Allison.
No, that is pretty much exactly what I would have said. Yeah, it was a throwaway.
Like Triple H saw Twitter and he's like, "Oh shit, they're pointing out that we don't have women on the card.
Oops,
better fix that." I didn't think there was anything wrong with the show. Good opener, Rollins and Breakker versus Sammy and Punk. Did really think that you were going to see at some point a Sami Zayn turn, though. And then Bronson Reed, broken ankles and all from the War Games match, comes back. I like it. I like him, Breakker, and Rollins together, even if they sing Rollins a song out to the ring.
I agree. Very, very excited to see him. I think he's a good addition.
I think he was the wild card heater because the natural answer was going to be Rusev, and you came in with Bronson Reed, who I think, based on his accent and based on his promo ability, benefits from Paul Heyman being the voice. Although any professional wrestler will benefit from Paul Heyman being the voice.
He'll also benefit from the joining Seth Rollins. Like it's a good push for the career. He was on the ascent, like he was on the climb already. I think all this does is strap a rocket to his back.
I would agree. Terry, do you have any thoughts on Bronson Reed or Breakker?
I think that they are building a stable, and I think it's very interesting. It's not one that I would have expected, but in your words, Paul Heyman is the guy to lead a stable. Mm-hmm. I mean, nobody is better. So bring in some brute guys, let him talk for them, and let's see what they can do.
So there was this thing somebody posted, I think it was the Brass Ring Media guys, about what would you call the stable? Because everybody's inclination is to use the word dangerous because of the Dangerous Alliance from 1991. Don't do that. I think they should call them the Heyman Cartel or the Wrestling Cabal. Those would be my two names for them. Because Paul Heyman, guys, doesn't sound like a serious thing, but if you're the Heyman Cartel, like it was the Galindo Cartel, it was, like the mafia families were named the Bonanos or the whatever, you know who they are, Genovese's, whatever, the family. You do the same thing with Paul Heyman, but you don't want to be the Heyman family because they already had a Heenan family.
Yeah.
So that's why I say use the word cartel. Plus, you make them all killers instead of wimps. But there's. What'd you say, Terry?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that makes it way better when they're killers instead of wimps.
Yeah. Your audio's a little low. If you could adjust the audio, but otherwise you're fine.
Yeah, you're much better.
Very clear. Anyway,
I think that I was thinking about it this way. To me, one of the best stables was always the Horsemen. And I was like, well, if you go that way, why don't you just call it the stable? Like, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you don't have to call it anything, but to your point, I liked your point about Seth Rollins. The guy, whether you like him or not, quietly has had a very good career in professional wrestling. Changed his wrestling style so he hasn't been hurt since he hurt his knee back in 2016 or 17 at this point. So I think he's a good face for their group, but I mean, even Rollins, as seasoned as he is, Heyman's the better talker. Heyman's the better talker. And so for me, this meant
best talker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volume good now?
Yeah, that's really good.
I turned it up. Yeah, the settings that did not produce anything earlier are producing crystal clear now. Stupid ass computers. Anyway.
Like the Mets. But
God.
I think maybe by the time we get to the list, you'll actually be able to hear me decently.
Yeah.
Oh.
Terry's going to continue to piddle and play while we talk about the
Yes.
wrestling here.
Correct.
I thought the match was fine. CM Punk's lost a step. Of course he should. He's 40, whatever. And he's been hurt a bunch. And, it is to his benefit to have much better wrestlers wrestling him, more athletic, younger people. Rollins and him are perfect foils for each other. And I think the match was a good opener. I think that was a nice surprise for Bronson Reed. And I don't have any objection to the match being on Saturday night's main event. I think it worked. They could try to find ways to be just a little bit more interesting. But let's be honest, the propensity from Vince back in the day to just shotgun book everything, you have to try to avoid that too. But there are no real heels in wrestling. So these guys are supposed to be bad guys, but there are still no real heels in wrestling.
Well, It's not a pay-per-view. It's not at that level. It's not a premium live event. But it should be a little bit better than Raw and SmackDown. The problem is, back in the day, when we had Saturday night's main event, we didn't have Raw and SmackDown competing with it. And we had a lot of squash matches in our weekly shows. So it's tough to find that middle ground between the weekly show and the premium live event in 2025.
Yeah, the old superstars of wrestling and prime time, where they'd go, like you say, Terry, they'd go to the damn squash match, and then you get an inset interview from the from the participants, It was good. It was great stuff. What wasn't great to me, moving on, Selena Vega and Chelsea Green, little bit of a bad chemistry I think the two women had. And again, I think the match was an afterthought. Very little heat. You did the rematch. Chelsea Green now has a broken nose from a piss poor 619. If you're going to do a wrestling move, be able to do said wrestling move. And I'm going to say that again when we get to the Young Bucks. But if you're going to do the wrestling move, do the wrestling move. Do you have any thoughts on this match? Either of you?
I think I was in my kitchen washing my dishes while this was going on, to be honest with you.
Your audio is as good as it's been tonight. Keep talking.
Yeah, let me tell you, this is so I don't talk about this because it's nothing to brag about at all. But I'm a software engineer. I deal with technology all the damn time. And sometimes it pisses me off. And tonight is one of those. Because when we met up a few minutes before recording, I set my audio to the exact settings that it has right now, and we didn't hear crap.
Not a word. Can confirm.
Because I knew this was the best setting. Okay, anyway, moving on. But
you're in the kitchen. Tell us about the kitchen.
I was in the kitchen for a lot of it, I just I turn it on. I want to make sure I'm watching it, but I'm trying to get the highlights. The problem is if there aren't any highlights, then it's just in the background.
Yeah. This match, no highlights.
This match sucked. It was a dud. It was a dud. I don't know what to say. There's no heat to it. You had a piss poor execution. The girls didn't look good. They didn't look like they were comfortable out there. And it was an afterthought with very little storyline. Next, what was next? Was it Drew?
Cena and Truth.
I have a hot take.
A little
on this
early
one.
in the night for that. Are we going with the original Saturday night's main event idea of the best matches first here? I mean, what's the deal?
I have a hot take on this one, so Allison needs to talk first.
Look, I mean, I'm gonna be dead honest here. This match was such a letdown, and I'm not talking about the match itself. The match was exactly what I expected. They're both up there in age, seasoned veterans to me.
Yeah.
The match was what I expected, not much, right? What killed me was the missed opportunity afterwards. I kept waiting because I'm like, okay, what's going to happen now? Something's going to happen now. Truth is going to say something. Cena's going to... No. nothing. And I'm like, well, that was the dumbest little promotion then if they did nothing with it. So there's my 2 cents. Was very unhappy because, as you all know, I believe R-Truth is a national treasure and should be protected at all costs. But I also love his thing with Cena. So go ahead, Andrew.
And he got released today.
Shut up. Combined age of Cena and R-Truth match, 101. Oh my God.
Yeah. R-Truth is north of 50.
53. I just Googled it. Cena is 48.
Yeah.
R-Truth is 53. Triple digit combined age here.
Here's the thing, though.
But yeah, he got canned, but it's bullshit. I don't care if he is 53. This guy's entertainment.
Absolutely.
R-Truth did John Cena as well as John Cena does John Cena. It was so good when he came out as Ron Cena.
Music. Yep.
And the music and everything. And
the music, the outfit.
To Cena's credit, he didn't crack. Because that's something R-Truth makes people do, is he makes them crack. And Cena never cracked. Heather Whitley has a great point here. Was it true swan song? Yeah. Could be. And she has a similar opinion I have on Carlito. It's, you get Carlito. But here's the thing. They are obviously disbanding the Judgment Day because Carlito was part of the Judgment Day Monday, and now he's been DFA'd, as we say around here, designated for assignment, not re-signed. But anyway, I don't know why you have this match and then decide not to re-sign R-Truth, who may not be your best professional wrestler any longer, but he is probably your best pure entertainer. Mm-hmm. And if wrestling is really a circus and the last circus on earth, you got to have something for everybody. And R-Truth was for everybody.
R-Truth was a PG, enjoyable character. And that is hard to get nowadays, okay? Mm-hmm. Honestly.
Think of the little things like calling Tommaso Ciampa Triple H.
Oh, God!
Like, when you think Tommaso Ciampa is Triple H before Tommaso's incident with the beard or he got cut or whatever. Yeah, but anyway.
Do we think R-Truth ends up anywhere else?
No.
I think if he's going to go out, he's going to just go out and be done.
Although I did see some sicko pitch it on the Twitter today that it would be great if he went to AEW because then he would think he never left WWE because Edge is there, Christian's there, Jericho's there, Adam Cole is there. It was a pretty valid point. So,
but could he not be like a manager or something? I know managers aren't necessarily as much of a thing in 2025, but
which I think is a mistake, but
or at least get behind the desk,
Yeah.
Let him talk.
He's so funny. I don't get why they wouldn't renew him.
So honestly, I mean, it could be that he is looking at the new path because you wouldn't be signing the same kind of contract. So maybe that is what we're looking at here. Maybe we will see him back in a different in a different way. He may, you never know. I'm trying to stay positive here. It's R-Truth. No, you can't just go fade away.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons that, people are invested in him. They like him, that sort of stuff. It's one of the reasons that it does bother you so much is because it's not like somebody who's never used or who hasn't given you good memories or who hasn't been good at what they do. Yep. Or had been injured. He's none of those things.
And Heather says maybe explore comedy. Dolph Ziggler does comedy.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've seen him. But there's a few. Yeah. I mean, I saw Mick Foley at Stand Up Live. It wasn't really as much comedy as him just telling stories of doing stupid shit to his body all the time. But and then sitting in a chair because he can't stand up.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I say, this is just. I get that it's release season and all that sort of stuff, but this one was one that I was like, "What the hell?" I mean, even Carlito, I'm like, "Yeah, well, they've been moving away from the Judgment Day, kind of anyhow." and they have a mega baby face on their hands in Dominic Mysterio.
Do you think that the WWE is going to continue this fire 'em, hire 'em, fire 'em, hire 'em
Yes.
method,
Yes.
and that some of these guys like Carlito may be back or whatever, they
Yes.
just don't have a plan for him now, and they don't want to
Correct.
keep him on payroll?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're doing. I think they're thinning the contracts probably. They're rewriting, restructuring, because we do now have so much more talent and people are being used in different ways. So I could absolutely see it being just that from a contract standpoint. All right, what else do we have on Saturday? Because we are like not even.
We got her pushing us along, Andrew. We got Priest against McIntyre and a missed
Well, I'm
opportunity.
gonna start getting yelled at in 10 minutes and I'm too loud. So all right.
We got our real producer is Lex.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
He
Priest and
keeps us on time.
McIntyre should have been in a blue cage, damn it.
Oh yeah.
Should have been in a blue cage. It was a pretty good match. Jesse Ventura making a big deal about walking out. I didn't like Damian Priest winning, but apparently McIntyre is hurt and he's in rehab,
on the shelf
like
for a
rehabbing
while.
an injury. So apparently he's hurt. So I guess it's okay. It's okay.
Damian Priest has got to, otherwise Damian Priest becomes,
Yeah.
a mulkey or something.
Yeah, there's an expression I've picked up from another podcast, merged into traffic. That is what Damian Priest has done, is merged right on into traffic.
Yeah.
He's impressive on his own, but when you start saying, is he better than so-and-so? No. Is he better than so-and-so? No. Is he better than so-and-so? No.
Yeah. And when you have Drew McIntyre, who honestly, over the last 18 months, has been on a fairly hot run. I mean,
I think he heard me say that I was not impressed with him about a year and a half ago. And he had turned it on.
That's it.
He listens to TNA Top 10. That's what we need to down. But I think, he's been on a pretty good run, and anybody that's worked with him has been better from it. I don't know that you can say this about Priest. It depends on what they do with him next.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Yeet, Jey Uso, versus Logan Paul, and what I call the catastrophe of the night. What a shit show. Here comes John Cena, not Ron Cena, but John Cena, tries to do the belt shot. Logan Paul loses. Cody returns. The Chode Master is back. And for Money in the Bank, we have a tag team match. It's going to be Logan Paul and John Cena versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes.
And this was the purpose of the entire night. Saturday night's main event was to build up to that match.
Yeah. Because if we thought about it, my biggest question coming out of the Cena R-Truth match was, where are you going now with Cena? What is legit? There was you took an entire storyline and you just chopped it off, and
that's also the reason they had John Cena and R-Truth third.
Yeah,
right.
Otherwise, you're like, why in the hell are they doing this so early?
Yes,
that and back to back. You don't want back to back segments with old.
He's tired, then he comes out.
Tired.
Yeah,
he needs a quick 5-minute nap.
give him a break.
These are old folks we're talking about here.
Hey, look, Cena is a year younger than me. Right?
Get that man an Ensure. He's got to check his blood sugar and check it off. And that's what Wilfred used to say.
All right.
Wilfred, and then for the shitty wrestling, is that what you're talking about?
Are we going to now? What are we doing? Is that a transition?
I think we should. I was trying to transition us.
Okay, so here's the very graceful transition to Double or Nothing with a very, very bad picture that I put up here. Blame Terry on that, because I guess I saved a very small thumbnail of this and blew it up, so it looks horrible. Blame that on me. But anyway, Double or Nothing had a crap load of matches. Big shocker. I did not put any results from the pre-show matches on here because there were 11 matches in total. 11.
This was to me a throwback to their old pay-per-views with the length.
Yeah.
We haven't seen one go. I'm going to say this, and then you can say it. We haven't seen one go this long in a while.
That's what she said.
Thank
When you said the length, I was already on it. I didn't need the cue. I didn't need the cue.
I mean, the girth of this paper.
Oh my god!
And like Ric Flair, it went all night long.
There's been more controversy with him lately. Apparently, he made a comment
Lord.
about some. I don't know. I did not even look for it. I don't want to even know about it.
Nope, don't.
Hands
Oh,
off on that.
Speaking of controversial, what about the Beyonce of pro wrestling? One Mercedes Moné defeating Jamie Hayter.
Well, you know, Beyonce, didn't she win like Country Artist of the Year or something?
She was an imitator too. I barely got that out when she said she was Beyonce of pro wrestling. I said, bitch, please.
Oh, please. I had the same reaction. I'm like, in your fucking dreams.
You're not Beyonce now, and you're not even close to Beyonce Destiny's Child. And the real ones know the difference. Let's not lie about this.
Yes, agreed.
I think we need a new music list, and I think we might have one coming up. There's a little foreshadowing for later.
Foreshadowing, also what he said. Anyway, Mercedes wins a match. I didn't think these two had very good chemistry. I didn't think the match was that great. I think there were missed spots. I think Mercedes looks like she's trying to catch up with her own feet when she runs across the ring, and it's insane. Her strikes look like pure garbage. And Jamie Hayter is Jamie Hayter, who is now in Tony Khan's doghouse, and you can tell because the former AEW Women's Champion got beat by Mercedes Moné in what clearly foreshadowed what was going to happen, even though that one was a foregone conclusion as well.
Yeah.
2 stars. Fuck you, Dave. Did you see Meltzer rated this show? And he gave, I sent it to somebody. I should send it to Terry, and he can put it up on the screen. We're doing live producing here,
Oh,
Terry.
good Lord. It ain't making it into the studio tonight.
It ain't making it tonight.
I barely got my audio sounded decent.
Don't worry. I got it right here. I'll read it. Hangman Ospreay, 5.5. DCF Paragon, 3 3/4. Anarchy in the Arena, 5 stars. Storm Shirakawa, 4. Okada Speedball, 4.5. Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas. He rated it 3.5. I swear to God, I'm not making that up. Ricochet Briscoe, 4.5. FTR versus and Nigel versus Garcia. FTR versus Nigel and Garcia, 4.5.
Oh my God.
Mercedes and Hayter, 4.5. And Terry, he rated the 8-man 0-hour tag 4 1/4 stars.
Oh my goodness.
That's just,
you know, I do have a plan to say some very positive things about AEW, but you are highlighting the things that make me not want to.
2 matches, 5 stars, 8 matches with 4 stars or above. And according to the Drain Maker on the Twitter machine, another incredible pay-per-view. Okay, so I don't believe Hayter and Mercedes was 4.5 stars. It was a decent match with several mistakes. Moving on to FTR and versus Nigel and Garcia. You talk about a match that could have been the main event of Collision. This didn't need to be on the pay-per-view. And I know Amy was watching and she loves FTR, but they have sucked as of late, and I will stand on that. Not a fan.
Not been fun to watch.
I got to tell you, you know, at one point in AEW, FTR was headed straight up and getting every belt. And then all of a sudden they said, time to make them drop off a cliff. And sure as hell, they did that.
Make me care about them. And then you put them with Captain Charisma, Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
Well, I was laughing because they were freaking pushing the Outrunners at one point harder than they were pushing FTR. And I'm like, is this a joke? Like, is this happening? Like, I don't understand the choices that are happening.
Not good. Not good. But I think the match went the right way in terms of who won or lost. FTR needed to win. Nigel McGuinness, and this is a criticism of AEW.
Yeah.
Nigel McGuinness has wrestled 2 matches in 14 years because he had hepatitis. Only in AEW Can Matt Hardy get cleared after that ladder bump onto cement floor? Can you get Saraya back in wrestling? Can Edge and Christian both find themselves cleared? And now you've got Nigel fucking McGuinness, who has been blacklisted from wrestling in every organization for 14 years, finally finds his way back to wrestling. What doctor are they using to clear all these people and put themselves in danger?
The most
Anyway.
convenient one.
Yeah, the one that says, "You look good."
I have positive comments coming up, I promise.
Okay.
Me too.
Get me to a
Ricochet.
match that was positive.
Okay, we got Ricochet and Mark Briscoe. I think it
No.
went as you would expect.
In
All
an
right.
ambulance match. No. This is the match, Allison. I was pleasantly surprised with how good this match was. Despite the fact it happened for no fucking reason whatsoever.
Yes. Correct. There's my point exactly. Why do we care if there's an ambulance? What do you need a stretcher for? Just beat each other up like normal.
So Mark
Okay,
Briscoe
I'm going to
can
make
come out
my
of the
statement
ambulance.
right now.
Wait.
I'm going to make my statement right now because this is a good opportunity. We talk about, and I particularly talk about, not liking all the multi-man matches and all the craziness and the anarchy in the arena and stuff. Okay, that's not my cup of tea. But I will tell you, I was watching the crowd during Anarchy in the Arena. They were eating that shit up. They love it. AEW sees that and they keep feeding it. There are people out there that love that kind of wrestling, and AEW is the place for them to get it. Here's the thing. Here's the reason this match brought this up. Mark Briscoe is a part of that.
Yes.
Ricochet is not.
Correct.
This is a mix of the two. So to me, it's like doesn't really fit together. But I will say, and I will bring it up later, when they have a good match in AEW, it is a damn good match.
Yeah.
And I will say that about it. We'll
Yep.
bring that up later, like I said.
But I was pleasantly surprised by Ricochet versus Briscoe. It had the right feel, the right violence, but it didn't need to happen. And
Right.
It was another collision main event. The Hurt Syndicate, speaking of collision main events, that's Lashley and Benjamin, for those of you playing along at home, in tow with MJF and MVP, took on the Sons of Texas. That's Dustin and Sammy. Now, I want to set the stage for our listeners, Terry. The AEW titles are on the line. The 6-man tag that Dustin has with the Von Erich kids, not on the line. The tag team title he has with Sammy Guevara in Ring of Honor, not on the line. But we have champions versus champions. And 50-some-year-old Dustin Rhodes comes out on Twitter and apologizes for a performance. I saw you put that in the notes.
Yeah.
When he was probably the best wrestler in the fucking ring. That's
Yeah.
the bad part.
But he does that from time to time. He's like,
He
we
does.
just didn't provide the show that you deserved. He'll say that kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he gets all self-righteous and angry and everything else when people criticize his company and oh, Tony Khan, let me bark like a seal, because that's what he does. I thought the match was okay, but again, and you two tell me, did you really think the Hurt Syndicate was losing the tag team titles or was ever going to be in danger of losing the tag team titles?
So Dustin is, unfortunately, Dustin's had a long career and he's done some good things. And obviously he's Dusty's son and he had, he had some talent. He is not that young guy that he was, but he is willing to do things to his body at this point. And obviously there is a classic match against Cody from a few years ago where they just put on a show. So he can do that. But it is not his role to win big matches in AEW.
And Sammy Guevara was bounced around like a pinball because he was the only one taking bumps in that match. Yeah. You talked about combined ages, Terry. Yeah. Sammy Guevara is 30. Lashley and Benjamin are in their upper 40s. Dustin is over 50.
Yeah.
So I think Dustin is 53, 54, something like that. Because he started wrestling in 1989.
56.
56. There you go. And like I said, Benjamin and no charisma Bobby Lashley are knocking on 50's door. So I can't stand Bobby Lashley. I don't know what people like about him. I don't like him.
Well, I will say from a young age, I was right in line with Vince McMahon on give me a muscle bound meathead guy. Bobby Lashley is that guy.
Yeah.
And when I first turned on the TV, one of the first things I saw was Ron Simmons beating the living shit out of somebody on the studio show. That was the best thing that I had ever seen, and that's why I started watching wrestling.
Oh, Bob. Oh, yeah. Old Ron was tough now. Speaking of things that we like to see on television, Kazuchika Okada back to form against Mike Bailey. Does he need to wrestle smaller people? Is this the problem?
So that was my question. Everybody knows this. And if you don't know this, I'm a huge Speedball Mike Bailey fan. Following him for a couple of years. Did I see these two matching up? No, not even close. Like, why would they? What did you think of the match?
You can see the potential of a match here, though. That's the thing.
Mean,
like, this is one of those you've got flashy. Let's do a bunch of stupid shit to our body matches in AEW and make sure 12 people are involved. And then you've got let's put one good wrestler against another good wrestler and let them do some good things.
So my problem with that is they are two completely different styles of wrestler.
Yeah.
Speedball is fast. He moves fast. Okada is not. He is way too big to be fast.
Right.
So it's just it's an odd match to watch. And as much as I wanted to love it, I couldn't.
I thought that Bailey challenged Okada to try to find another gear. Finally. Because Okada has been cashing them checks, is what he's been doing.
Yeah.
This is not
absolutely.
The Okada that ran New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is a completely different version. And the Okada that we see today is not the guy that had 4 classic matches with Kenny Omega that all went 40 minutes. The difference is Omega still has that gear. Yeah. I just wonder if Bailey was going to get it out of him, and the match was fine. This was a surprisingly decent match to me, but Okada's going to hit his tombstone. He's going to hit the Rainmaker. Going to go home and call it a day. But the drop kick counter from the top rope, Bailey's finisher that was money. That was good wrestling. The problem is they still went 18 minutes or whatever. So anyway.
Yep.
Anarchy in the Arena playing bodies like we're back in WWE at SummerSlam or Unforgiven with Kurt Angle and Steve Austin. Get away from me.
It's the Savannah Bananas of wrestling matches.
But it's terrible. Like, they're so shitty. And they put it... The thing is, Terry, we didn't put a Hard Rock mixtape on, because that'd have been cool. We just played fucking bodies on repeat. Like, what is wrong with you all? I did not enjoy that at all. Anarchy in the Arena is not for me. Apparently, one of the douchebag Bucks hurt themselves trying to hit a move that they haven't hit in years. The Meltzer driver needs to go away. If you can't hit the finish, don't do the finish.
Right.
Just how I feel about it. And then it was Anarchy in the Arena. So it was nice, I guess, to see the women involved a little bit. Willow pulls all down her bibs or whatever, and she's got Big Black and Jack as a shirt underneath her bibs, which was hilarious because that's the shirt that Will Hobbs wears. But this is my problem, and you two can take it from here because I can't stand AEW doing this shit. Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe were in this fucking match. You have 190 people on the roster. Put someone else in Anarchy in the Arena.
Yeah.
Not the best fucking wrestler in the world.
I'm going to comment on what Heather said here. She said it was like 4 separate matches in one match. You didn't know who to watch. Okay, so historically, this was always my complaint about mixed tag matches, where you had 2 women on opposite sides and 2 men, a man and a woman versus a man and a woman, but they wouldn't let the woman and the man go against each other. So it's like, this guy's beating the living crap out of this guy and he tags. So it's like a new match has started, because that
You got
means
it.
nothing now. You do not benefit from that at all. So you've got 2 parallel matches going. Kind of like what you're saying, Heather. You got 4 parallel matches going, and eventually one of those matches ends.
Yeah.
Yep. I would agree with that.
Full disclosure, this match is where I fell asleep.
This match sucked. You didn't miss anything. And
Okay.
and the idea of, them, the loaded shoe, the curb stomp, or the swerve stomp, excuse me, and then the Omega thing and the Bucks, I just was not impressed with this match whatsoever. And then
Are they calling
somehow,
themselves officially the Founders or something like that now?
yeah, and
Founding Fathers?
that is so stupid too. The Founding Fathers and their entrance. Look, bitches, without being the Elite, we wouldn't have AEW. But without Cody Rhodes, AEW would have never been a thing.
Right.
So to the Founding Fathers, suck it. But
they're going to be wearing powdered wigs before you know it.
Yeah, they did. Judge just struck out.
Did
That's
they
rude.
this time?
They did, didn't they?
I think
they
they
wear
did.
like the
Maybe
old
I missed that part. I knew they had the old
did.
outfits. I guess I didn't pay attention to the powdered wig because I was in the kitchen doing dishes, right?
But I'm telling you, I just was not a fan of the. I just was not a fan of the Anarchy match. The problem is you've seen one, now you've seen them all. I mean, you're going to have a hard time getting past Eddie Kingston ready to light somebody on fire. I mean, there's not going to be too much more that you can do. This is the Hell in the Cell problem. Remember when they went out the cage, they went through the table, then Foley went through then every match somebody was going to the top of that cage and off the cage and through the cage, and you're trying to one up the year previous. And the only reason you're doing this Anarchy in the Arena is it's Double or Nothing, and it's that time of year. The same reason that they do Blood and Guts when they do it, and the same reason WWE does War Games when they do it. So just because it's that time of year doesn't necessarily mean that you've built a good story to this match.
Like also, back in the day, come around Thanksgiving, we got to get a shitload of 8-on-8 competition or whatever it was.
Or 20-on-20 back in the day for the tag match, the tag match area, the original. But and this is my final thought on Anarchy in the Arena. Somebody, for the love of fucking God, get the title off of Jon Moxley. Get it off of him already.
Yeah.
I am over a Mox run with this title. And he is pure dog shit.
Hangman Adam Page is the guy, right?
Well, we hope so. But before we get there, we had the Paragon, because that's an awesome name, take on whoever the hell they wrestled. I forget now that I just made fun of.
I didn't put the actual tag team names in the notes. I just put the names of the individuals.
Yeah, the Paragon versus the Don Callis family, and Don Callis family won. Takeshita, Fletcher, and Alexander look like they could be building blocks for this company. Meanwhile, you put them with that nothing happening Adam Cole, who can't get a spray tan right. He looks like he's got jaundice. And then you put him with Kyle O'Reilly, whose one arm is completely atrophied. He can barely lift it up. And then you got Roderick Strong, who is looking as good as ever, against the future of the company in the semi-main event of the evening. Also, though, Kyle Fletcher looked like he may have hurt Adam Cole Wednesday. Lots of speculation on that, being sloppy with the powerbomb onto the apron. Here's the thought. Don't do that fucking move. Just a thought. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway. Do you all think it was a good letdown match before we got to the best match AEW's put on all year?
I think at this point I was growing tired of the pay-per-view and not paying as much attention.
I was in and out, so yeah.
Yeah, so but that's also anticipation of that final match, like you said. And that's where I really started, the juices started flowing in my brain about AEW really putting on a good selection of particular matches over the last few years. And that's what I thought from Hangman and Will Ospreay.
I fell asleep and watched it the next day with a fresh set of eyes because these pay-per-views we can call exhausting or exhaustive, your choice.
I'm getting old. Can't do it.
Well, I mean, when it's 12:30 and it's not wrapped up, for Pete's sake, it
3 hours past my bedtime. What the hell are you thinking?
Yeah, we're lucky she's still with us. But the match didn't have a great story or build. Although Billy Goat's story is really easy. I'm the best in the world and I'm going to prove it. And Hangman is on a path to redemption, if you will. Good, great, fine, terrific. Also a surprise that it was Hangman versus Will Ospreay, in my opinion, as opposed to Fletcher.
Yeah.
Because I thought we were going to see some sort of screw job and get the third match because heel versus babyface is a something people want to do. Anyway, with the exception of the table spot they botched, probably the best wrestling match I've seen AEW put on this year. Don't mind saying it. And there have been some good ones. That cage match between Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher was money. I guess it wasn't AEW, but Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd in Japan, that was money. Yeah. That was fantastic. Yeah. But this match for me, best match of the year.
Nice.
Very good. I mean, that's where I said this is the one that influenced me to say what I said, to praise the combination of this match and seeing the faces of the people in the crowd during Anarchy in the Arena influenced me to give the positive thoughts to AEW this week. Yeah. It's two completely different things happening on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, I just, and that was my thing. For me, this match saved the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
This match was really worth buying the pay-per-view for. Nice. It was that good of a wrestling match.
It was.
Because I didn't enjoy that much of the rest of it, to be honest. We skipped Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa.
We did.
That was a really good wrestling match, too.
That was a good match.
Really good wrestling match. But it was a foregone conclusion that Mina Shirakawa was not winning that match.
Correct.
And once Mercedes won, there's no element of surprise that it's going to be Mercedes versus Tony at All In. Anyway, back to this match.
And that's what we don't need. We don't need at pay-per-views. We don't need foregone conclusions.
Correct.
Right.
Saturday night's main event, sure. Let's have John Cena against R-Truth. Who cares? It's just Saturday night's main event. It's not a pay-per-view. But a pay-per-view, we need to anticipate a match where we don't really know. Maybe it's 60-40, maybe it's 70-30, but there's that chance in our head. But some of these matches just aren't that.
But to me, go ahead.
I was going to say that was exactly what the Hangman Ospreay match to me was. You didn't know which way they were going to go.
And it's double or nothing. This is their WrestleMania, pretty much.
Correct.
Well, they would say All In is their WrestleMania, but this is definitely
SummerSlam. Yeah,
this is definitely their SummerSlam for sure.
Yeah.
You and I agree. Yeah, you and I agree. This is a tent pole, but this is the thing for me: counter into counter, action into action, move set into move set, near fall into near fall. It was nearly flawless, with the exception of the table spot. Nearly flawless. And to your point, everybody bet on Will Ospreay. They're like, oh, yeah, well, obviously Ospreay's going to win this. And Adam Page won this, the Owen, as they call it, and actually did it in a pretty good wrestling match. And they did it without having to have a fuck finish, which is actually even better.
And during this final of the tournament, they announced a new tournament. More thoughts on that later.
I will say, Hangman said something after he won the next week, Dynamite this week. He said, "You can keep the belt. I don't want it. So give it to the next champion. You'll have another champion."
Give it to the
And I
next
start.
guy and double it.
It's basically and I laughed so hard because I'm like, he just said what we were all thinking. This is a useless belt. Why does it matter? It doesn't. And that's exactly what he said. And I was giggling. I'm like, oh, look at that.
Goodness.
Yeah, and I think that you're going to get a nice setup with Hangman versus Moxley. Yeah. I just hope Tony Khan does the right thing and takes the title off of Moxley. It is time.
It is time.
It is time.
Yep.
So, anyway, that is Double or Nothing, folks.
Speaking of it is time, unfortunately, in the past week, we have learned, or in the past couple of weeks maybe, we have learned of the passing of one George Wendt, who played Norm on Cheers, among other things. He was really good. Sometimes he would do spots on Whose Line Is It Anyway? That was really good also.
Yeah.
But we thought, how do we honor George Wendt and his career and him as a human being and honor his life than the top 10 Norm one-liners entering Cheers. And yes, it took us a little while to get the exact name on this because I wanted to make sure.
This is good stuff. For
Norm
those of you who...
I was just going to say... the best character.
Oh, there's no question.
Oh, he's great.
There's
now,
no
Carla's pretty damn good. I'm a big Carla.
Carla was pretty good. I mean, personally, I loved Woody for his naivety.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought he was great at that. But I laughed because my tagline today, if you're reading this and you didn't know this, George Wendt is actually Jason Sudeikis' uncle. And a lot of people, and a lot of people didn't know this. And there are actually Easter eggs in Ted Lasso of Norm.
It's crazy the relationships that some people in Hollywood have that never get mentioned.
Yep. Isn't that some great stuff? That's how Jason Sudeikis got on SNL, actually, by dropping his uncle's name and getting a little bit of help getting in the door. Because, because for those in my age bracket, we remember George Wendt from SNL from the Chicago Bears.
Oh yeah,
the Bears.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah. So
who would win in a hurricane? A fight, the hurricane or Dick? Dick. What if the hurricane's name was Hurricane Dick?
Woo, we better get it going.
Something about age. She said something about age, and I could do the whole skit, but it's okay.
So we must be getting a little bit better. We put out the feeler for who might be interested in a preview of the list, and I won't say how many people volunteered for that, but thank you to those who did. Not enough. If you are interested at all, let us know. We'll probably put out another feeler on that, but we welcome it. We want to make sure that we're not leaving out something that you really like on a list.
Exactly.
Therefore, we have not had a lot of complaints lately.
Not a lot of blame Terry.
Not a lot of blame Terry, but we did have a couple that just barely missed. And let's talk about those. And honestly, one of them didn't even barely miss. The one about oh crap, I can't even remember. It's like dog biscuit underwear or something. I expected to be on here, but it was not. But here's the two that were the closest outside of the top 10. Somebody says, "How's life in the fast lane, Norm?" And he said, "Beats me. I can't even find the on-ramp." And then the other one here is, "How you doing, Norm? Cut the small talk and give me a beer." There's a lot of give me a beer kind of stuff in this list. So, I was thinking about this. When Norm replies, there's a few things. It's either I need a beer and I drink a lot of beer. My life sucks is the second thing. And the third one is this woman that I married is a
Vera.
horrible woman. And that did not show its face on here as much as I expected. Because there are some really good moments where he talks about Vera, but I will give him credit because there is an episode where he's really talking up to the guys about Vera, and he goes into Sam's office and he's like really talking really great about her. So
Mhm.
it's all a show, guys. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Did you see the episode where he says, "I'm going to the club"? What club? Oh, the new Vera signed me up for the health
The-
club.
The health
Yeah,
club.
I'm gonna go do 25. You gonna do 25 laps? No, cannonballs. So he's gonna go do cannonballs at the pool at the health
Oh
club.
my God.
Yep.
See, there's so much on this show, and I will say that one of the hardest things to put together in a list is quotes from a show. Because how many lines did Norm have from the beginning of this show to the end? Thousands. So
Yeah.
we had to narrow it down to only things that he said entering the bar because that was the easiest way to narrow it down. And let's talk about the top 10. Number 10, want a beer, Norm? That's that Sudsy Amber stuff, right? I've been hearing good things about it.
Have either of you ever been to the real Cheers?
No.
Next time you come up here, I'll take you guys.
Awesome.
Boom,
Next
boom,
time
boom,
or
boom,
first
boom.
time?
Our first time, yeah. All right.
To your very well organized house. Number 9.
Number 9. Beer, Normie? Yeah, Coach. I don't know. I've had one this week. Oh, well, what the heck? I'm young.
You know what's really scary? Could you imagine how young he actually? I want to look this up now. How young he actually was
God.
during this show? It's going
Have
to
you
make me
seen-
feel so old.
That'll bring us back to the Golden Girls. Have you seen people comparing themselves? Like
Don't.
Blanche was like 43.
Yeah. So with the Golden Girls, the best part is Estelle Getty was the youngest of the 4.
Yeah.
So okay, I don't think you guys are ready for this. Norm Peterson's character age on Cheers was 34 when the show premiered in 1982, but he was 33.
Oh my goodness.
I am so old, just so you know.
Norm. So
How many years
yeah,
was it though? I mean, they went several years.
It had to be at least.
I think
10.
they. Yeah, I don't know. It
I
was a
don't know.
lot. All
Yeah,
right, I'm going to
seasons, I
Google
think
real
there's-
quick how many
I think there's
episodes
8 or
this
9
was.
seasons of Cheers.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
273 episodes.
It's about 10. Yeah, it's about 10 or 11 seasons.
And that
He was on
is
it. He was on it for 11 years.
11
11
seasons.
years. Okay.
Yeah, 11 seasons, 200 and whatever I said episodes because I've already forgotten.
Wow.
There's going to be a lot of can I offer you a beer and why are you even asking? Yes, you can offer me a beer kind of stuff.
Correct.
But he made it funny every time.
Absolutely.
Number 8. Can I pour you a draft, Mr. Peterson? A little early, isn't it, Woody? For a beer? No, for stupid
For
questions.
stupid questions. That's my tagline. It's a little early for stupid questions. So
But again, this was great because across from him, you had Woody Harrelson playing Woody, who was really good at it.
Oh, yeah.
So these conversations were killer. Fantastic.
Yeah, and it was
Well-
interesting. This show, you talk about Woody. Woody replaced Coach. And
Mhm.
Woody
Yep.
was a younger, kind of naive guy. Coach was, I don't know about naive, but just plain stupid, probably.
Yeah. It was like an older version of Woody.
And I think with Coach, it was he took so many baseballs to the head over the years that he was dumb.
yep.
But he knew baseball.
Yep.
Anyway, for those that didn't know, Sam Malone was a relief pitcher for the Red Sox, and he was not very good.
Mhm.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Number 7. How's a beer sound, Norm? I don't know, Coach. I usually finish them before they get a word in.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Oh, that's so good.
I do enjoy that a lot. That is very good. When I used to drink, I was that way. I've got the non-alcohol today for Normie, but yeah, when I used to drink, I was that way. They didn't have a chance.
I have never been much of a beer guy, just letting you know. I'm more of a whiskey guy. The problem is I drink the pace of beer with whiskey.
There's a story from Chicago, 2022.
You know, I thought about putting the Macho Man socks on tonight, and I thought something
Ooh.
horrible's going to go wrong. I think just the thought of putting them on and I touched them caused these audio problems.
It's quite possible,
That's
Terry.
it.
Because these
That's
are
it.
haunted damn socks. I am not wearing those socks ever again.
That is a
We can
deep
have-
cut for our. That's a deep
Yeah.
cut for our longtime listeners of TNA Top 10, talking about Macho Man socks.
We should have a like a voodoo ceremony and burn them the next time we're together.
We need to.
Like,
And I love
Yeah.
Macho Man. That is the reason
Yes.
I have Macho Man socks. But these things have done nothing but bring me problems in my life. They're haunted. Number 6. Something I can do for you, Norm? Well, I'm going to need something to kill time before my second beer. How about a first one?
that was the other thing about Norm that was so impressive. The lore of the show was that Norm could just put him away
Oh,
and just keep putting him away. So, yeah.
You know, it's funny. This old guy, there's an episode where this old guy walks in. They've never seen him before. And he goes, you know, I used to live here 20 years ago or 15 years ago or something. You said Norm was 33, so it's probably not 20. I used to live here 15 years ago, and I would come here all the time. Man, this place looks a lot different. Like over there, that wall looks a lot different. And he goes, "Oh, which wall?" He goes, "Oh, the one over there behind Norm."
Yeah. I remember. I saw that one recently. I sent y'all a bunch of the reels with the old Norm.
Yeah.
But the other thing about Norm was the answer was never the same.
No.
Right.
Then that's what made the show so much fun. Like you said, Terry, 11 seasons, 270 episodes. The answer was never the same. But we did not put 270 options on the poll for those of you wondering.
No.
I'm trying to think, and I can't remember an episode where they didn't have the scene of him walking in the door.
Well, I think so. I mean, maybe they did one an episode. I'm not sure. They might have done it a couple of times, but there were a couple of them that didn't really fit this pattern. Like there was one where everybody's standing at the front door and nobody's got a key. And then Norm walks down the stairs and said, "Sorry, I'm late, guys." And he opens it with his own key. But that didn't really relate to us trying to do this, you know.
No.
I mean, there's another one where Frasier is there with Lilith, and they've got their son.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And she's all pissed off at him for bringing him into a bar. And then Norm walks in, and
well,
the kid
hold on.
goes, "Norm!"
Wait. The reason she's pissed is because she's trying to enhance his get him to talk, to say his first word, to talk. And Lilith says, you know, a bar is not the right environment for this kind of learning. And then yes, Norm walks in the door, and little the hell is his name?
Oh God, I'm embarrassed that I can't remember his name.
We should Frederick.
Oh
no.
shit,
Was it Frederick?
Frederick, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and then there was the last episode, and I know we need to get to the top 5, but there was the last episode where Norm is the last one to walk out of the bar. And then Sam turns the lights off.
That's right. And did you know that he died on the anniversary of the last episode?
No. Wow.
I know. I did not know that until earlier. And I'm 100% trusting whatever the hell source told me that.
Yes.
So if it's wrong, blame it on them.
Blame them. Number 5, Terry.
Number 5. What's the story, Norm? Thirsty guy walks into a bar. You finish it.
Oh, Norm.
And obviously, you guys see the picture. ChatGPT did a great job of this picture of Norm. I'm really leaning on ChatGPT these days.
You got the beer studs right.
Yeah. That's right.
I
Number
think the only
4.
problem is, Terry, how full that glass is. But go ahead with
Yeah.
number 4.
That's right.
Nobody
It must have just been
believes.
set down in front of.
Yeah, nobody believes he'd allow a beer to sit that long.
Number 4. What's up, Norm?
Oh
My nipples. It's freezing out there.
And we know who our voters are on this show.
That is correct. That is correct.
Oh, but yeah, it's Boston for Pete's sake. It is
Yeah.
a tidbit nipply outside. So anyway,
Number 3. How's life treating you, Norm? Like he caught me in bed with his wife.
Oh,
Here's a my life sucks part
Yep.
of
yeah, but it's
Oh.
funny. I mean, and that was the thing because the delivery, the timing, it all was perfect for George Wendt to be Norm.
does
But anyway,
anybody remember what he used to do? What his job was?
was he an accountant?
He was a painter.
Or
And
I
an
thought he
accountant.
was a painter.
He was
thought
an
he was a
accountant.
painter.
He was definitely an accountant and he was a painter. That's the 2 jobs I remember. He also, at one point, he worked at the what was the restaurant that he used to frequent all the time? The oh shit, I gotta look this up.
The one up, not the one upstairs.
No, Norm Restaurant. Cheers. The Hungry Heifer.
That's right. Yep.
He worked
That's
at the
right.
Hungry Heifer or something like for a while because he needed more money or something like
Good
that.
God.
Cleaning plates.
Wow. Amazing.
That's perfect. The hungry heifer.
That's so good.
And he just talked about how shitty the food was all the time, but he would keep going back.
But he'd
It
go back.
reminded me of Golden Corral.
Oh God.
It's like you can go get a lot of really horrible food at Golden Corral and question whether kids have had their hands in it.
Yeah. Yeah, the chocolate fountain is hands off.
Oh
seriously.
my goodness. It is ridiculous.
Oh, that's
It is
nasty.
bad. At one point in college, I used to drive 20 minutes to go to Golden Corral in the next town over. When they got a Golden
Sorry.
Corral here, or I went to a Golden Corral in Gatlinburg, you want to talk about combining Golden Corral, which is bad enough, with Gatlinburg, which is like you're in there with, it's like you're a sardine with everybody else packed in. That was a nightmare.
Yep.
Don't go
Once
to
they
that Golden Corral. Sorry, guys, but I'm
No,
not supporting you.
No, look, once they closed our Ponderosas, I was done with buffets. I did not.
Not a buffet
Golden
fan.
Corral was not an option for me.
Mass
Certain
made, mass
buffets I
made
like.
food,
It depends
getting
on what
warmer.
it
Mm-mm. Las Vegas, sure, but otherwise,
Yeah.
no. Called
Yeah.
bougie. Speaking of Yankees that are up 6-1, it's the top of the
Okay.
7th. Lasagna is pitching. Yarborough
Lasagna.
wins.
Good job.
Yeah, Jason
Lasagna.
Lasagna is pitching.
That's yes. I taught Andrew his name is Lasagna because
Yeah,
nobody
it's actually
can say
lasagna.
Loazaga.
Yeah, Lawazaga, but it's
Okay.
lasagna because we're New Yorkers.
Making
Number
me hungry.
2, Terry.
Number 2, there's no question here. He just comes in and says, "Gentlemen, start your tabs."
Yeah. So I was a
true
practice.
one-liner.
I was a practice.
I was going to
drinker.
ask you.
The story you've all been waiting for. I was a practice drinker at one point, and I had we went to a pub. Oh, foul ball. Okay. We went to a pub in College Town called Thunderhead Brewery. I had my own mug. It hung above the bar on a hook for all of the VIPs. They
Mhm.
would literally have my beer sitting for me on the counter before I made it up there, like I really was Norm from Cheers, to which my dad pointed out. But the story on the tab, the highest bar tab I ever had was March 17th, 2010. It was St. Patrick's Day. And you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So we started at 5 a.m., closed the bar down at 1 a.m.
Oh, Andrew.
My personal bar tab before a tip was $492 in a sleepy little town in western Nebraska.
The dive
Wow.
bar
In
bill.
Nebraska is the part of that that's
Yeah.
killer because
Yeah.
I mean, you'd say that in New York, or you say that
Yeah.
you're like international in Europe somewhere, or
That's
LA
nothing.
somewhere, at Vegas. That's not a big shocker, but somewhere in did you say Western Nebraska?
Yeah, well, central Nebraska, yeah.
Man, that's killer.
So I used to drink there quite a bit, and this is what I know. I got plenty of free drinks along the way to the 492.
Figured. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
To
That
the
yeah.
492.
I am so glad I didn't know you back then. I would have gotten
Lasagna
in
just
so
gave
much
up
more trouble.
Lasagna just gave up a home run to Pajes again. What in the world?
Oh man, this guy Lasagna sounds like he's got a lot of layers. Anyway, number
Oh,
1. Draw you a beer, Norm? No, I know what they look like. Just pour me one.
Yes, fabulous. That is
very good.
fabulous.
I like to play on words. Good list, Terry. Good
Very
list.
good
Now
list.
here's the difficult one. When we have a quote list, the
Yeah.
rundown is extremely difficult because I cannot put all those words
Just show them
in
this
this.
time.
So here we go. I will
There
run
you
it down a little bit. It is what it is. Number 10, been hearing good things about beer. That's a summary of what he said. Number 9, what the heck, I'm young. Give me a second one. Number 8, a little early for stupid questions, Woody. Number 7, I don't know what a beer sounds like because I finish my beer before they get a word in. Number 6, I got to have something to do before my second beer. Pour me a first one. Number 5, thirsty guy walks into a bar. You finish it. Number 4,
What's up?
what's up? Thank you, because I forgot what the question was. What's up? Thirsty guy walks into. Oh shit! My nipples. It's freezing out there. Blame
How's
Terry
life
on that
treating
for
you?
sure.
How's life treating you?
Like he caught me in bed with his wife. Gentlemen,
Gentlemen.
start your tabs. And
Ding,
number
ding.
1,
Draw you a beer, Norm?
I know what they look like. Just pour me one.
Just pour me one.
And that
Fabulous
is
list.
an attempt to summarize the top 10 Norm
Good
one-liners
job.
entering Cheers. And
I enjoyed that very much.
we are very sad for the passing of George
Yes.
Wendt. Norm, classic TV character of our childhood.
Mhm.
He's going to be missed.
It says something about our parents letting us watch a show completely surrounding a bar. But whatever.
Not only that,
Whatever.
Sam is trying to have sex with every woman in Boston the whole time.
100% correct. Oh,
Well, he used to be a relief pitcher.
that's right.
That's right. What was his Mayday Malone?
Well, he's from Boston. He didn't
He's
play
so
for the
good.
real team. Read
But
the
I mean,
hat.
I will say praise to Chat GPT for this one picture. There are
Yes.
times where I ask for something and Chat GPT gives me something completely wrong. But this
We
time
saw one
I
of
think
those
they
in the
know.
group text the other day. It combined multiple people.
It made an
That is
arm
correct.
a face.
Oh,
And now Max
well, it was
Muncy
understandable for this
just hit a home run off Lasagna. That's rude. That's 2 home runs in the 7th inning.
I told
Somebody
you,
told us.
unless we're leading by double digits, I don't feel confident. So
Pull Lasagna out of the game already.
Yes.
He's overcooked. Anyway, speaking of puns, Terry, talk to us about this Chat GTP in the group chat.
GPT.
Whatever it is, PGT, GPT, TCG.
It is
I
very
don't give a-
PG because sometimes you'll ask for things and
Yes.
they'll say, I can't do that.
Yeah.
It
How
is
about
very
this?
strict about stuff. It's like if you say, I tried to get like a picture of myself in like a pool without my shirt on, and it would not do it because my shirt was not on. It would not do that. And I'm like, this is innocent. This is just me in a pool. But it would not do that.
Lawaza will not be pitching in the 8th. But anyway, Chat GPT, is that it?
That's
Yes.
right.
Okay. Here's Chat GTP from Andrew IDGAF. Tell us, Terry, about the group chat pic that turned an arm.
Well, we're not going to go into that, but there is a very famous pic of several of us and our friends. All of us are in it. All three of us are in it. And I tried to make a Chat GPT cartoon picture, but it let me down. Several things were not right. I looked
We all
okay.
we all
Allison got
had the same
glasses.
fit. I got glasses out of nowhere,
It gives glasses to Allison every
every
time I
time.
put Allison in something. It gives
And
her
I'm pretty
glasses.
sure it combined me and our man Adam O'Neill.
Yeah, it was weird because it's like it's not even the right number of people.
Like he doesn't have as red a hair as I do. Come on now.
Yeah, and there was no red hair in that area at all.
Mm-mm.
And
That's what she said.
it did pretty well with Devin was sitting beside me. So some people may know what picture we're talking about just from me saying this, but Devin was sitting beside me holding a beer, and it did him pretty good. It did me pretty good. Allison got glasses, but that whole group behind us was really screwed up. It did not know what the hell was going on.
AI needs work, Terry, but I've been warning y'all about the Terminators now.
Too many.
I'm
Here's
telling
what
you.
I see: too many guys with big bellies, black shirts, and cargo pants. It could not handle that.
It couldn't handle it.
Still called professional wrestling fans. Thank God they wear deodorant. Praise Jesus. Hey, look,
God.
there is a not mutual fan of ours who I actually bought deodorant for out of a vending machine in one of the hotels because he absolutely needed them. Eddie still doesn't know how to bathe, and he was born in like 50 plus years ago. So, and yes, I said I said Eddie, Eddie. You are the reason wrestling fans have such a bad reputation. So,
We're going there tonight, Allison. Wow.
Ooh, all right.
he
Anyway.
doesn't watch us anyway.
How
So
about
here's
our friends? What are our friends?
well, I was just about to say I need to
Yeah.
ask our friend Dave for a logo to use on
Yes,
our
we do.
podcast because it's long overdue. Because they used our logo, they asked for
Mhm.
ours, and they use ours on the show, and they talk about us, and we're very thankful to them. Um, what is the name now? They have changed it. Is it Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave and
Pondwater
Amy? Is that
Amy.
what it is?
Mhm.
Okay,
On the Markout Moments Network.
that's
And
right. So
with
we love
Talking
them
Wrestling.
individually and their show. And this week they're going to have Justin Summers from Island. Is it Island of Pro Wrestling or Island Pro Wrestling?
I think just
I
Island
typed in Island of, so it might be Island Pro.
Let me look at the text from Amy because that'll be more correct.
Island Pro. I already looked it up. It's
Okay.
Island.
It's
But
Island
in
Pro
Andrew's
Wrestling.
world,
So
when
he'll
I'm
be
doing
on
the
the
notes-
show. And what's good about their show, if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to learn about people that you didn't even know about, that a lot of people know. And it's kind of back in the day when the NWA had all the little promotions scattered around where you live close to Memphis, so you knew about Memphis. You live close to Dallas, so you knew about Dallas. And Ric Flair's going town to town or whatever, and everybody knew about him. But there is a lot of good wrestling out there. And it's not all great. It's not all the same things you see on TV. There's a lot of different styles out there, a lot of different talents, but there's a lot of talent out there that are wrestling in gyms or small civic centers or in a brewery or something like that. And a lot of these are worth seeing. And the good thing about this show, they will bring some of the promoters on, they will bring some of the talent on, and they will talk to them about how they got their start, who they like, their whole life. Why are they a wrestling fan? Why'd they get into wrestling? What was their career like? And you'll learn a lot of things that you did not know. And then Amy will have trivia at the end, and you'll learn some more things you didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I fully admit that I did not realize that there was independent wrestling up until about, what are we at? Almost 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I got immersed into the culture, if you want to say, and living up here in the Northeast, we have a couple of independent companies around me, Northeast Wrestling, Beyond, Chaotic, there's Limitless, there's a ton up here. And it's really great because I get to watch wrestlers come up, if you want to call it that. Right. Even I used to watch a guy, his name was Christian Casanova, and I loved him. Guess who he is now? That's Oh my God, why am I so bad? I do this
You
every.
set it
I
up.
do this every
That's-
time. I do this every time. Andrew, you know who I'm talking about? Christian Casanova. Who is he now? Carmelo Hayes. There you go. I do that every time. But also like Darby Allin. I watched him when he was, starting out.
Yeah.
Things,
that's
things
cool.
like that. Yeah, my Brian Malonis was in with the Beer Bruisers in Ring of Honor. He's a coach now for Beyond. So like it's fantastic to be able to watch and get to know these guys and converse. And that's why I do love Pondwater and Amy's show. And I can't believe I just called him that because he's Super Dave. But
to you, he's Super Dave. Yeah.
He's Super Dave. He'll always be
PWD.
So to me, I see New South down here, and there's been a lot of talent that I saw. I'm horrible with names, just like you were talking about. I saw Fit Finley's son. I can't remember his first name. I saw him several times in New South, and he signed with WWE. I have not seen him on TV yet. I hope he's doing well, but it was great to see that. And then, I saw the girls. They're in NWA now. Oh my goodness, she won the NWA Women's Championship. I'm horrible with remembering names. I'm sorry.
I'm horrible. Billy Starks, like I don't know.
Yeah, Paige sisters, Alexa, and God, I can't think of her name, and it's horrible because she's a big star. But anyway, I saw them at New South, and I got to look this up because I feel horrible.
Kenzie? No.
Yes, Kenzie. Kenzie.
Ooh,
that's what I was trying to think of.
I pulled
Kenzie
that one out of my.
Oh my God! So I saw her several times at New South, and she was a New South champion. She was wrestling men down there because there weren't a lot of women, and there wasn't a lot of women competition there. And then she went and she did great in NWA, and I don't see them as much, but you see them at an early age, and you see the talent, and then you see them move along, and that's great.
That's how Lex fell in love with Penelope Ford. She was wrestling up here with Northeast Wrestling, and Lex was like, I love this woman. This woman's great. And then she showed up on AEW, and well, now it's, all exciting. But yeah. Anyway, good stuff.
Great. But anyway, that's what you get from Pondwater and Amy every week. You're going to get a wrestler or a promoter or a wrestler / promoter, and they're going to tell their story, and you're going to learn something. And that's wonderful.
Correct. Not to mention they're very good people and friends of ours. So you should support them. The show is entertaining, a lot of fun. They've been doing this a long time. And again, I believe it's part of the Greater Markout Moments YouTube channel now.
That's right.
So enjoy it. I do. And I will look forward to seeing them on Tuesday.
That's right. I will too. And we are trying to be 1 week ahead on our poll. So we kind of know the next two. I believe what we're going to do next. I have not put it out in an email to our group yet, but I believe what we arrived on is best songs to dance to at a wedding.
Are we doing first dance or like fun dance?
I think the easiest thing is going to be, this is where I said we're not finalized, but I think best songs to dance to at a wedding is going to be easier to get a bigger list.
Yeah, I agree. So you're talking like for the wedding guests.
Yeah, we'll see like Cha-Cha Slide and that kind of thing.
I want to hear the wedding version of Turn Around or Total Eclipse of the Heart from old school at the wedding.
But then the next week, we will be recording on Father's Day.
Correct.
So we're going to do the second one that we pulled from the suggestion from Alex Wheaton. We will do the top 10 TV dads. We will learn from what we left out on the TV Moms episode. I did not put Roseanne on there. I will put Dan on there this time.
Well, Dan didn't get canceled for his political beliefs, but the show is over.
But he did whip Fisher's ass for putting his hands on Jackie.
He did, and let's not forget Murray from the Goldbergs. He is one of my favorite dads. The minute he walks in the door, he takes his pants off, and Murray runs the furniture store.
Murray! You better believe Al Bundy's going to be on here. Speaking of going
You
in
know
to take
Bundy will
advantage.
be on here. Tim Allen from Home Improvement is Tim Taylor.
And I promise not to insist that Jamie Lannister get on the list. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Chat GPT may do it for you. Just
Yeah,
trust
you
me.
never know.
Chat GPT's got a sense of humor sometimes.
that was so brutal that you put Cersei Lannister on the Mother's Day list. But our fans played along with. They didn't bite on the joke,
Nope.
so
Still mad.
we left Roseanne off, included Cersei. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! We call
Alrighty
that
then.
a mistake.
We do.
We call that the producer insisted.
All right,
Oh,
guys.
God.
It's been fun, even
Speaking-
with the
Yes.
audio problems. I'm so glad that about 40 minutes in, I figured it
Yes.
out.
Speaking of a mistake, before we go, that chai tea extra soy double foam motherfucker of a pitcher, Devin Williams, is up because
I knew it. I knew it.
Is for closers, and he is in the 8th inning before
Mm-mm.
Weaver comes on. This is ridiculous. And they're
He only
talking
gets-
about how we're going to pitch to Shohei. Are you kidding me? Don't.
What's the score?
Just don't pitch to him. Walk his ass.
No. What's the score?
6-3.
Okay, yeah, no. Don't pitch to him. Not at all.
Don't
And
pitch
help
to
me
enough
out.
of
Shohei.
The Red Sox beat the Braves today. Did
Thank
you
you very
see the pettiness that the Braves put on the Red Sox?
Yes.
The Braves
Go ahead,
went
Keller.
up to Boston last week and
Yeah.
played a 3-game series, and the Red Sox did not play any music for the Braves while they were taking batting practice. Apparently, this is the thing. So when they came down, the players requested, do not play any music for the Red Sox when they're taking batting practice. And they didn't do it.
Good.
An eye for an
Petty.
eye there in baseball.
Petty.
Absolutely.
We
Petty.
love
Like,
Petty.
hey, we got
I was gonna say, have you met me?
We're going to be as petty as possible.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, have you met me, Petty?
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes, please.
We
Sign
love
me up.
Petty.
All right, let's try to wrap it up. Thank you guys for dealing with the frustration of my audio. I think the headset's fine. I just need to let me explain a little bit. We use StreamYard to stream. And when you go to audio, I've got one device, I've got one headset and one set of speakers and a camera. It gives me like 10 options for audio input. It's like, where the hell are you getting all these options? So there are like 5 different options to set it to headset, and some of them suck.
Can confirm.
So
Facts.
I set it to the exact settings before we started the show, and it didn't even work at all. So I'm trying to justify why it sucked so bad. But anyway, that's what it is. We're going to figure it out. We're going to get it figured out before we record in the future. I apologize for that. Thanks for the patience and the support. And any final thoughts from anybody before I wrap it up?
This soy latte drinking motherfucker better go 3 up, 3 down. That's what I'm saying.
That's right. And we'll update you on that and the Yankee standing next time. But for now, as always, love your people. Tell them you love them. Make it weird. See you next time, everybody.
Bye.